42-inch Antica ceiling fan from the early 80s. It was manufactured in Hong Kong. Came out of the same house as the Brightgrass 40-inch Antica I showed you in the previous video. As I said in the last video, the Anticas sometimes are labeled different things. There are collectors that think they are related to Kodak, but anyway, the Anticas, which you'll find stamped inside of the switch housing there, these are ridiculously fast fans, both the 42-inch and the 52-inch version, and we'll go ahead and show you those speeds now. We'll go ahead and start off on low. I'll go ahead and speed it up a little bit first because, again, those motors are so big it takes a while to get to full speed, especially on low. There's a little bit of a kind of a hissing sound. That's not the bearings. The cloth on the top faceplate is coming loose and it's just dragging against the motor. Happened to the other Antique I had that was pretty much identical to this one. I ended up just ripping the cloth out, and no big deal. And this is a 42-inch fan as opposed to 40-inch. The speeds are just a little bit slower. This one's probably going to go about 80, 85 RPM. Go ahead and put on medium. And I had another fan that was identical to this one, and it's now history. And that's because I attempted to jury rig it to the ceiling and was not successful. So it met its doom because of me, not because of how it's manufactured. Medium is going to go about 135, 140 RPM. A little bit of a wobble, nothing serious. And I'll go ahead and put it on high. In this case, high is probably about 280 RPM, maybe a tad bit faster. Again, good breeze, nice column of air. It's a smaller fan, so it's going to be concentrated kind of underneath it, but it is pretty powerful, and you can definitely hear and feel it. Go ahead and turn it off. Might as well do spin down with this one too, since I did it with 40-inch. As you probably noticed at the beginning of the video, and you'll see again here in just a second, this one does have the arched tip blades as opposed to the pointed tip. Arched tips seem to be more common with the 42-inch version. This one has no stencil on it. The 40-inch didn't either, which is unusual because a lot of these had the stencil. And I think I failed to mention this in the last video, but the stencil often did not match the blade shape. Sometimes it would have the pointed tip stencil on the arch tip blades, and sometimes it would have arch tip stencil on the pointed tip blades, if I remember correctly. And that was the case with the 42 and the 52-inch Anticas. It continues to slow down. Kind of surprised stencil is not that popular now. With the popularity of the tattoo has seemed to explode over the last decade or so. That's kind of what stencil always remind me of, is a tattoo of sorts. So it'd be interesting to see if that comes back or not. I know they've got it on the big ass fans. One of the options is to have kind of a tattoo design on their giant blades. And there you see the arch tip blades. Pointed tips seem to be more common with 52-inch, and arch seem to be more common with the 42. I'll go ahead and run the fan on reverse. This particular fan and the 52 inch as well came in both a 4-blade and a 5-blade version. I've got a 4-blade in once at Habitat. I've seen there is another YouTube video of another collector that had this in the 4-blade. Again, low is going to be 85 RPM or so. Speeds pretty much match up with what they do on forward. There were several kind of vent styles. The most common seems to be this one with just the plain vents on it. It came also with small GE vents. There's a footprint vent version. Again, medium is about 140 RPM, same. Like 40 inch, you can feel it on medium reverse. Which if you're going for the winter, bringing the heat down, that's not good because you don't want to feel the breeze on and negate the heating effect. But some people just like an indirect flow, and so I suppose it'd be pretty useful that way. I'll put it on high reverse. And again, probably about 270, 280 RPM. I'll go ahead and turn it off. This fan is actually in excellent cosmetic condition. There's one blade bracket's got a little bit of pitting on it. That down rod you can probably see up there is the paint is peeling off of it. That can be fixed with by stripping it and repainting it. And then you've got the cloth there on the top faceplate, which you can't see, which you can, the end user can just rip out if it bugs them. But this fan is in great shape. And there is also a little crack in the paint on one of the blades. It's not there on the other side. You just flip it over. Like I said, no stencil. So if you don't like how one blade looks, just flip it over. And you've got a fan in remarkably nice shape and with a nice powerful motor in it. So again, this has been a 42 inch Antica ceiling fan. It is one of quite a few I've come across over the years. And I'll have more fan videos to come. Thanks again for watching.